always be sure they care. When you're cleaning tack, when you're moving muck, when you're doing all your chores, still you're having fun, you don't seem to mind, 'cause you know you and your horse are friends, friends, they're your friends.
We take travel so much for granted these days. We take an aeroplane to go on our holidays, we take the train to work, we take the car to go to the shops, and we leap on and off buses to go to school. But can you imagine that only 100 years ago, the streets echoed not with the roar of engines, but with the clatter of horses' hooves? Delivery vehicles were pulled by horses or ponies. All the daily essentials, coal, milk and bread, were brought to our doors. A lad of Tom's age would already have left school and be working hard for a few pence a week, although he probably took home a few misshapen loaves for his family. The horses had to work very hard, but were well looked after, because no horse, or a sick horse, meant no business. As the car has superseded the horse for the transport of goods, carriage driving has become a sport. This is a milk float at a big county show, where we saw a variety of highly polished and well-groomed turnouts, as they're called, in competition. Not only are the horses and carriages immaculately turned out, but the drivers even wear the correct period costumes. These high steppers are called hackneys, and they seem to have springs in their feet. Our lot have got the right idea, but lack some of the grace. What a gentle way to travel. Of Paddock Farm, and it's where all the equipment that's needed for the horse is kept. It's a bit like a horse's wardrobe. Up here you've got all the horses' bridles underneath their names so that you don't get them muddled up. Nice variety of different bits up here. Not quite sure what they all are, I'll have to ask Ali that one. Lots of rosettes, they obviously do jolly well here. And over here, we've got bandages, the horse's legs, good old washing machine, washing all the dirty blankets. And then over here are all the saddles, and they're on these racks. To keep them, presumably to keep them nicely positioned, so they don't all get crumpled up. And this is a numner, and that goes underneath the saddle on the horse's back to stop the saddle from rubbing. Now listen carefully, team. Time for a bit of horse anatomy.
This is the ear, running down to the eye, running to the nose and the mouth, all together making the muzzle. You have the crest with the neck, running to the wither, down to the shoulder, down to the elbow, the knee, the cannon bone, the fetlock, the hoof, Here you have the barrel with the saddle area on it, not too much here, running down from the hip to the stifle, to the hock, to the cannon bone, and the fetlock again. Good girl. And then gently running down to the dock, which is the extension of the backbone.
Ali is now going to show us how to put on all that rather complicated tack that we saw in the tack room. But first, Ali, I'd like to know, why is tack necessary?
We need tack, Louise, because it's basically the way that we control the horse.
Indians rode with just a bridle, which is essential to steer and stop. Occasionally, they had a blanket to stop their bottoms getting sore, but they still fell off. A more durable bottom protector is the modern saddle.
Now, always tell your horse you're coming, the same as when we're actually approaching it. Just rub your hand quietly and place the saddle nicely, quite far forward to start with, over his wither. Still talking to him nicely. Make sure the numnah is level. Then you very gently slide the saddle back into position so the hair isn't the wrong way. Walk round and check the other side. Pulling the girth over gently. Check the numnah. Again, quietly walk back. If it's done quietly, horses are very tolerant, they'll stand. Just tuck the girth through the bottom of the numnah here. We're going to put it on to the first strap. Not too tight. If he's not working straight away, you must never do the girth up too tight. Tuck this one underneath and then onto the back one. They have 3 straps with the girth. Safety if one ever broke, and also it means the weight is carried all over the saddle. This is the girth guard, which you pull gently down. It protects the buckles on this piece. What we do now, we untie the horse gently, but we don't actually let it go. The rope stays wrapped around the string. We undo the head collar very quietly, lower it around the horse's neck, and replace it on.
Pass my bridle, please.
Now, place the reins gently over the horse's head. Get them out of the way nicely. Holding the bridle in your right hand, with your left hand, if they have bit rings like we've got here, you put one for one side and one the other. Have your hand nice and flat. You put your finger into the side of her mouth. And she goes, ooh, got my finger in my mouth.
I've got to put my hand inside here,
Yeah,
haven't I?
put your thumb on the back.
Right. Oh, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
See how I hold it up quite high now? Now, very quietly, placing one ear under and the other ear, very gently.
Hey, Dad. Just doing that.
Doing up the noseband now. This noseband that Bella is wearing is called a flash noseband. And in this one, you do the top one up first. Fairly comfortably tight.
Looks like it goes on this one.
Now the bottom strap here, this is done, sounds very dramatic, helps to keep her mouth shut. But all this does, it just helps to keep the bit in the correct position. Not too tight, and if you ever have anything fitted, never have it too low. Because this is a gristly part of the horse's muzzle, and obviously it'll restrict the breathing. We pull this through. Again, keepers and runners, so important. Otherwise, you imagine your horse is trotting along, and he's got this thing flapping in front of his nose. We're just going to loosen the head collar. I'm going to twist the reins like this. So when the head collar is on, or if he's standing, waiting for you to maybe go and polish your boots for the last time or something, nothing can ever happen. The reins are safe. You place the head collar on the horse. And then we re-tie the horse up. But one important thing to remember, always gather your equipment together before you start. And you haven't got to go off and leave the horse. Keep everything together neatly. Anybody got any questions?
Does the bit hurt?
No, a bit shouldn't hurt. If a horse is uncomfortable in his mouth or the bridle is badly fitted, he'll tell you by nodding his head or messing around with his mouth.
What does a martingale do?
A martingale is fitted. It helps to prevent the horse from throwing his head too high. And the other very valuable thing with a martingale for when we're all learning is it gives us a neck strap.
What about the stirrups, Ali? I know they pull down like this. Who invented the stirrup?
Warriors invented the stirrups so they could stand up in them and be a little bit more athletic with their spears and horrible things like that.
In the cowboy movies, they have quite different types of...
Oh yes, they
Much
ride
longer.
much longer and they have a completely different saddle. We ride with our weight on the ball of our foot, but they ride with their foot right home. And this is why with children we sometimes, and adults as well, we have a special stirrup so that your foot can always come out of the stirrup. That's a very good safety point. Bryony, that's what they are. See, these are called safety stirrups, and this would ping off,
Oh, I see.
so your foot could never get caught.
And get dragged along behind the horse.
Well, exactly.
Alex from Croxted Saddlery has arrived at Paddock Farm to fit a new saddle for Ali. Rather like a new pair of shoes, a saddle has to fit properly or it'll be uncomfortable for both the horse and rider. Also like shoes, there are different saddles for different purposes. This is a jumping saddle.
What's the saddle made up of?
The saddle itself, you start off with the basic tree which is inside. In this case it's a German saddle, it's a fiberglass tree, but normally they're traditionally made of a laminated beechwood with steel plates at the front and across at the back, and across the head there. You then have webbing across the tree, so you're not actually sitting on the tree, which is then a layer of what we call plastizote, which is a high density foam put on top of that, and then the leather seat and skirts are drawn over the top of that. That's basically how the saddle is made up. Obviously you have the stirrup bars which are on this steel plate which runs across the whole head of the saddle. There's a steel plate below and a steel plate above which sandwiches the tree in between, and that's what the stirrup bars themselves actually rest.
The stirrups go onto there?
The stirrups go onto the stirrup bar, and that is a safety, and that's a quick release, and so that if you actually do have an accident the stirrup will come off.
There's a stirrup out, so you could put... Shall I put the other one on?
Yeah, please. Okay. The stirrups just go on. So, just put that down. Alison's just about to...
I can assure you it'll make a difference when I get on.
We'll check the girth going, because normally they blow out when you first put the saddles on. And normally you can get the girth up another 2 or 3 holes.
Give me a leg up. It's better for the saddle, isn't it?
Yeah.
One, two.
This is a dressage saddle.
Oh gosh.
And this is a dressage saddle. And again, the difference now is that the saddle is very straight cut. The flaps are very long, and we have very long girth straps because we use a different type of girth. We use a very short girth, so there are no buckles at all underneath the rider's legs. Okay.
What's this?
This is a saddle. This is a saddle which is in the middle of having a new seat put on it.
Gosh.
And this is very interesting because it shows you the actual tree. If we look underneath, you can see the laminated beechwood. This is a sprung tree. Yeah, this is a laminated beechwood bit here, okay? And there's the head plates which we talked about. That's the bottom head plate. And there's one corresponding on the top, okay? The stirrup bars obviously come off on here.
And the stirrups are attached to the most solid part.
They're on the strongest part. They're on these 2 metal pieces here.
And then the leather comes up.
Then you see the webs which are sprung across the tree, and then underneath this there's a plastizote. You can't actually show it. There's a plastizote seat underneath here, which makes it nice and spongy, so it makes it comfortable for you to sit on. And then this is the seat, which is in the middle of being drawn on, and then the skirts will be attached onto the...
that. I see.
going to work on the more advanced trotting lesson.
When Bella trots, she moves opposite diagonal legs together, the reds, and then springs to the whites. Imagine Bella is trotting around us in a left-hand circle. The rider sits down as the outside front leg, the red one, touches the ground. Sitting on alternate beats or diagonals makes it more comfortable for the horse and rider.
On reaching the track, right. So Sharon is leading file. Now, well, first of all, we're going to do a simple exercise to help you understand the movement of your horse. Sharon, now, without looking, say now as his outside foreleg hits the ground. Off you go. Keep saying it until you really get the feel. Good girl, well done. Now Holly. Holly, you're cheating. I can see your eyes going down. Come on, feel the horse's movement. Good girl, well done. Right, now all we've got to do is do that in trots. Do you all understand which is the outside foreleg? All right, everybody, now what we're going to do, one by one, we're going to come down this end of the school and do a tight figure of 8 so you can feel for yourselves the importance of changing a diagonal. Right, Rebecca, let's have you first. To change it, we sit in the saddle for 2 beats, and we do this when we change the rein, and that means change direction.
Most of the horse's weight, and the rider's, is taken by the forelegs. When travelling in a circle, a horse will put more weight on its outside leg to maintain its balance. It helps this balance if the rider sits, putting his weight on the horse at this time. When travelling in a straight line, the rider can sit on either pair of diagonals, but should change diagonals regularly to keep the horse supple.
Your turn. Well done, Rebecca. Give your pony a real pat. So when you're ready now, just get him trotting on the large circle first. Get him going forward from your leg. Good girl. Try when you go from walk to trot to do sitting trots for a few strides before you rise. So let's just go forward to walk again. Otherwise, you haven't got a chance to feel what the horse is doing underneath you. Right, now, kick, kick, kick with your leg, trot on, sitting trot. Now, feel that, right? Now, is that right or wrong? Well done, change it. Good girl. The importance of doing that sitting is so you can really understand the movement. Sit for 2 beats in the centre. Look now for A. Where's A? Look at that lovely, pretty letter A. Right, now, 1, 2. Good girl. Left leg well back. Look where you're going. That'll help you turn if you look. Look down at A. That's a good girl. Using that left leg behind the girth. Well done. 1, 2. Very nice. Right leg back this time. That's a good girl. Pushing the weight down into the heel. Look back at A. Look back at A. That's nice. And again. 1, 2. Good. Right leg keeps him out. Well done. Make a fuss of your horse. Right, Holly. Well done, Sharon. Good girl. Look where you're going. Keeping your hands still. Watch your leg doesn't shoot forward as you rise. Through the centre. 1, 2. Good girl. Now the right leg keeps her out. Left leg back behind. Look where you're going, Holly. Where's A? Where's A? Turn, turn. Much bigger than everybody else. Slowly. 1, 2. Holly. You must do it at X. Very important to do it dead at X. Now look, look. Slowly, slowly, not too fast. And 1, 2. All right, Holly, well done. Now we've worked on our diagonals, we're now going to improve our sitting trot by making you sit in the saddle, and the best way to do that is to take your feet out of your stirrups. Right, everybody, quit and cross your stirrups. Always the right over the left, so the left is on the top. Let's just show you. Can you see, Holly? Yeah. If you move the buckle down, flatten it, lift it up, so it goes nice and flat against the saddle, and it's not so uncomfortable for us. Yeah. Right, so now gently the whole ride, gather up your rein, prepare to walk, march, the same order, Sharon, Holly, Rebecca. Whole ride, walk, march. Now, without the stirrups now, it's exactly the same aids as we used before, but the most important thing is that you maintain even weight on both seat bones. Look up where you're going large, and trot. Now lifting your toe now, Sharon. Try and let your hips follow the movement of the horse. Holly, your heel is too far forward. That's a good girl. Really push your tummy forward a bit now, Holly, and lift your chest. Rebecca, I want you to really draw your shoulders back. Turning your toes in, you're sticking your toes out badly. A little bit slower your rhythm. Sharon, lifting those toes, come on. Well done, don't look at them.
Let's go and see someone who's really good at it. This is Dane Rawlings, who's an international dressage rider on his horse Sparky. Here he demonstrates the half pass. The subtle change of pace and direction are communicated by imperceptible movements of his body and hands. There are many types of trot, which involve various degrees of elevation and extension. Although Dane has worked with this horse for only 11 weeks, you can already see rhythm and harmony in the partnership between horse and rider. This is an extended trot. Just look how Sparky stretches out his front legs. Thank you, Dane. We went to see John Lawless and the Whitbread Shire horses at the South of England show.
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Well, sleep well.
Very well.
Great. So where are your horses?
They're round the back, through that way, and we'll have a walk through there if you want to.
Come on.
Yeah.
Super.
Come on in.
The horses had spent the night at the showground, at this sort of horse motel. They need to travel a day ahead, so they have the whole day to get ready.
There's 4 here.
Good morning.
We call this one Roger.
Roger.
Yeah. He likes you.
How tall he is.
He's only young. He's about 17.3. And he's only 5.
What? Tall? It's the same age as you, Victoria.
Is that
Bigger
you
than
5,
you.
Victoria? Who's the littlest one? You want to sit on his back, the littlest one?
I want to.
No, you're too big.
Can I put one?
You just stand by the door and I'll lift you up. You two come here.
You come over. Maybe later. You come over here. Oh,
See
no.
that? Where's the other one? You sit up as well.
Oh, do you like that, Rog?
There you are. Walk.
These are very gentle giants, strong and good-natured. They weigh about a ton. That's the same as a small car. And if Roger came into your house, his head would touch the ceiling. They need to have good, strong feet to carry all that weight.
Look at there. Look at that.
Hey.
They're size 14. You love this thing, look.
The Shire horse used to be a familiar sight, both in the cities where they pulled the heavy dray carts for the breweries, and the country, where they were invaluable to the farmer. How patiently they stand for their beauty treatment. They must have the cleanest feet at the show.
The result of Class Keepers is 5.
The last horse is harnessed up. These beautiful horses pull the Lord Mayor of London's carriage through the city at the Lord Mayor's show.
Right then. Walk up.
These 3 shires are pulling an old-fashioned removal van. A proud moment for John, when all the hard work is appreciated by the crowd as he enters the main ring.